dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon and happy October 1st to you. I'm Dakota Makris. First at 4, COVID-19 is still infecting nursing home residents, but many say it is not nearly the nightmare it was last year, including the director of a nursing home company with thousands of residents in Kentucky. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what is happening at a facility over in Corbin.
Christian Care Communities in Corbin is still dealing with COVID-19. It is still something they have to watch carefully, and it is something that is having an impact. But I am told that it is not nearly the impact it had last year in 2020.
Having access and availability to this new monoclonal antibody, it gives us hope. And originally, when we were dealing with COVID, it was very difficult to find that hope.
It is a different situation with COVID-19 now at nursing homes. As you remember, in March 2020, when the pandemic started, these were facilities where there was a lot of concern about outbreaks. Some places, those outbreaks did happen. Recently, the Corbin Nursing Home has seen a small spike in cases, 15 since August. All of them were vaccinated. Most have recovered.
Right now, I'm very pleased to say that of the 15, we have only 4 that are still in the COVID unit.
Spalding says they are following all federal mandates, and she says most of the residents here are fully vaccinated. The majority of staff members are fully vaccinated as well, but she says those that aren't, they are dealing with those on a case-by-case basis. In Corbin, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
The Christian Care Director told us that for the most part, they have been able to treat most of their residents on site. The $85 million Kentucky Highway 15 project in Perry County is almost complete. Kentucky Transportation Cabinet officials say the earth moving and barrier wall construction efforts are both now complete. As of now, all that is left is paving, signals and overhead lights, pavement markings and road signage.
These are all things that typically are done in projects close to the end. So we're definitely in the home stretch.
Chaz Jenkins will have more from District 10 spokesperson H.B. Elkins on the project when they think it will be complete later tonight on Mountain News at 6. October 1st is the first day of fall forest fire season in Kentucky. The state is under a burn ban during this season, which means the only time you can burn things is from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. Viola Lewis, a firefighter in Wooten, Kentucky, says people do not realize the danger they could cause themselves or others by burning during the day.
People, they don't realize that they need to wait. And when they do set a fire early, if they're out burning garbage or trash or brush, that they can set the mountains on fire.
The fall forest fire season lasts until December 15th.
And welcome to the 1st of October, or the beginning of the second month of meteorological fall, though it still feels just like late summer, and we're starting where September left off, which is above average. Out there right now, you see some of the clouds from earlier moving on out from our I-64 camera at Moorhead, so we're left with beautiful sunny skies this afternoon. Taking you on out to the Mountain Parkway at Slade, we're actually seeing another beautiful blue sky there. Just again, a few high clouds working in. Otherwise, it's smooth sailing on the Mountain Parkway this evening. Temperatures right now, some of us, Cumberland Valley, getting in on the low 80s right now in Monticello. Most of us upper 70s. It's middle to upper 70s in much of the region. Pineville's actually our cooler spot at 71. Yes, even cooler than Wise, which is rare. Satellite and radar out there, just a few showers trying to work into the far southwest portions of the region. I think we stay dry, but some cloudiness will be with us. I don't think you'll need the jacket, though, for rain purposes, as if you're headed out to our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week tonight between Somerset and Hazard. 71 at kickoff, halftime at 67. As we cool down quick, some fog could be in play by the end of the game, with those lows getting down by the end of the game, at least, into the low 60s. So grab that jacket just in case, or just sit on at home, watch it on HNI or on WYMT.com. I'll have the latest on what the forecast looks like for the weekend coming up in just a bit. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you. Your mail could take longer to reach you. Under a new plan that takes effect today, the Postmaster General is slowing down some deliveries and increasing prices. He wants to balance the Postal Service budget. As Errol Barnett shows us, critics say it will cause serious damage.
I've been coming up here every week asking, where's my mail?
Marissa Taylor relies on the post office to deliver her paychecks that she uses to take care of her 2 siblings with special needs.
They keep giving me the same answer, which is, oh, you have a new driver, it'll be out today. You don't get mail that day.
Taylor went without mail for days over the summer, and new changes from the U.S. Postal Service mean more delays could be in her future. In March, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy announced a new 10-year plan that promises to cut debt and modernize the agency.
We haven't been funded in 10 years. You can't pass any legislation. Can't pass any legislation that helps. If I could just finish this point.
But it comes at a cost. Almost 40% of first-class mail could take up to 5 days to arrive instead of up to 3 days. And sending holiday cheer will be pricier as well, with postage rates increasing up to $5 more per package until December 26th.
I see a bright future ahead for the Postal Service.
DeJoy has been a controversial head of the Postal Service since June of 2020. Before the election, the former businessman and top GOP donor made changes to the service, including removing mailboxes. Many rallied nationwide against what they saw as voter suppression. And earlier this year, 21 state attorneys general asked the Postal Regulatory Commission to reject the new plan, saying it could disproportionately impact elderly and rural residents, as well as individuals with disabilities.
These cuts, plain and simple, are illegal.
Now, we should also highlight that many Americans rely on this service for the delivery of their medicines. CBS News spoke with one man who's already experienced delays in receiving his heart and behavioral medications, and he's now concerned that will happen more often. If you're also worried, the general advice is to send things a few days early or consider another service. Errol Barnett, CBS News, Washington.
Well, we are learning new information about an experimental COVID pill. Drug maker Merck says its pill has reduced hospitalizations and death by half in people recently infected with COVID, based on observations of 775 adults. Now, those who took the pill did so within 5 days of showing symptoms. The company says it plans to submit its data for FDA review in the coming days. If cleared, it would be the first pill shown to treat COVID. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh tested positive for COVID-19 last night. The Supreme Court says he is fully vaccinated and does not have any symptoms. Earlier in the week, he tested negative, along with the other justices. The Supreme Court is slated to return to the bench for the start of its new term on Monday. Well, Venezuela is launching a new currency. It is another attempt to combat the country's severe hyperinflation and the second new currency launch in the last 3 years. The new currency has 6 fewer zeros, meaning what is currently 1 million bolivar, will now be 1 digital bolivar. And in total, 14 zeros have been cut through these launches since 2008. Venezuela's vice president explains Monday the new digital bolivar name refers to a push for electronic transactions. Now, 1 digital is roughly equal to 20 U.S. cents. Well, heading over to Wall Street on this Friday, the Dow kicks off October on a good note, closing up more than 483 points. We'll have more financial news in our next half hour. Coppertone is voluntarily recalling 5 aerosol sunscreens due to the presence of the carcinogen benzene. Now they include certain lots of SPF 50, pure and simple travel size sport spray, and sport mineral. The FDA says the products were manufactured between January and June of this year. Information of the specific items in the recall are online at sunscreenrecall2021.com. Well, coming up, we break down some high school football here in the mountains as we take you inside the locker room. Stay tuned.
And the forecast looks tranquil for those high school football games tonight, but parts of the weekend could be a different story. I'll have the breakdown on the way.